Hey there. Today we're going to talk about foreclosures. Are they coming? Is there a foreclosure wave coming? And is it going to spur a market crash? Don't go away. Hey, welcome back. This is Michael Cosman with Keller Williams Paint Creek coming to you live every Friday. YouTube, love the technology. If you like these videos, you find them informative, please like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, and we'll bring them to you every Friday. So anyway, without further ado, we're talking about foreclosures. Now, foreclosures, it's that word that kind of scares people because it is a dire strait if you're going through foreclosure. I've known people that have gone through foreclosures, and if you're going to lose your house, it's never a fun situation. But the reality is that people do go through foreclosures because they lose their jobs or other dire circumstances that happen. But is this a consequence of the economy and what's going on with the government? Just recently, President Biden, at the end of July 31st, ended the moratorium on foreclosures because of the COVID pandemic. However, there's still areas where people are able to get additional assistance. But even so, it'll extend out. Foreclosures, by their very nature, they take time. It's not all of a sudden now a glut of foreclosures are going to hit the housing market, and the market is going to go into a downward spiral. So having said that, I've looked, one of the services that I've subscribed to every day actually is a service called Keeping Current Matters. And they came out with an interesting article about understanding your options to avoid foreclosures. And in the article, it talked about, I publish these articles typically as often as I possibly can, but it says the percentage of mortgages in foreclosure is decreasing. So if it's decreasing year after year after year, yes, there are foreclosures out there, but it's not going to affect the economy. I mean, it will affect the economy a little bit, but we're not going to go. My personal opinion is all the doom and gloom sayers can say that it's going to affect it, but foreclosures by themselves are not going to put us in a market crash. So having said that, if you're going through a foreclosure or you know somebody that's going through a foreclosure, there are things and options that they can do to avoid foreclosure. For example, there are 4 items you can do. There's reinstatement. When you have a lender you're working with, lenders don't want to go into the real estate business. They just don't. They went through all that nonsense back in 2008, 2009, 2010, when we did have a market crash, when there's a lot of crazy mortgages out there, and as a result, people defaulted on a lot of loans, and that's when it really hit the market. But they don't want to put their home, they're in the lending business, and so they'll want to work with you if you're going through if you're upside down or whatever. But reinstatement's one option. Loan modification, trying to modify your loan, maybe drawing out for a longer term, and maybe at a different rate, a deed in lieu of foreclosure, or even a short sale, which is what I attempted to do with my parents' home personally back when I started getting into real estate. Those are all options. But I guess the first thing you should ask yourself, if you're in that situation where income's not coming in, and or you have maybe a medical emergency and you don't know what to do, and you need to make your payments, or you're behind in your payments, is first, don't stick your head in the sand. Do you have positive equity in your home? The vast majority of the U.S. right now does, because of the boom in the housing market, and values have gone up over the last 8-9 years, there is a lot of positive equity. So find out if you have positive equity, and then that gives you a lot more better leg to stand on should you have to sell your home and get out from underneath that. So, but again, take proactive steps, consult with a realtor, professional realtor, on the value of your home. Go back to your lender again and again and do whatever you can to make sure that you can maybe put together some type of payment plan or forbearance or whatever. But so anyway, there is help out there. That's what my point is. But at the end of the day, the foreclosures are not going to spur a housing crisis in my view. So I like to end every video with scripture, and this one talks about help, crying out for help. And so my able-bodied assistant has given me the scripture for the day. Yep, glasses first. Here we go. Okay, Psalm 18:6. In my distress, I called to the Lord. I cried out to my God for help. From his temple, he heard my voice. My cry came before him into his ears, and he heard me. So God hears your cries. People will hear your cries, but God cares about you. I care about you. This is Michael Konsman, the Realtor Truly Cares, Pink Creek, Keller Williams. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next week.